Hey guys, Henry here, and today I'm going to be talking about Buenos Aires, Argentina. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world with a population of over 42 million. It takes up most of the southern part of South America. Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, is located on the east coast right next to Uruguay. The food in Buenos Aires. Denzel and I both really like the food because there's two foods that we really enjoy, meat and ice cream. And in Buenos Aires, there was a lot of both. Typically in Argentina, dinner is very late, usually happening after 9 p.m. But we usually have dinner around 7 or 8. So when we went out to the restaurants, there's literally nobody there. So we had the chance to go into the kitchen and try cooking some meat. The experience was really fun, and we got to cook lots and lots of food and also eat it all.
I'm just preparing some meals for family and friends. Argentinian cooking. It's not a barbecue, it's more of a...
Your partner chef is pretty chill over there.
Medium.
Got your authentic sausages, chicken, kebabs, chicken.
And we got to try lots of different stuff like choripan, empanadas, and obviously Argentinian steak. We also tried this drink which was a mix of Fernet and Coke, and apparently in Argentina it's all the rage. We didn't quite like it, but if we had it a couple more times I can see how we would start to like it. It had that sort of taste where it was a bit strange but in a good way. Back to the ice cream. There were so many ice cream shops around. I'm not sure if we were just thinking about ice cream all the time, so every corner we went around there was an ice cream shop, we just eat it. But we had tons and tons of ice cream. We got those boxes, like a kilo, basically every time we went, and the ice cream was just so good, so good.
We are going to an ice cream shop. This beautiful ice cream shop.
Football in Argentina. Growing up, Denzel and I did play a lot of football. We played for about 8 years up until I was about 17 years old. And since then we haven't really been into the soccer scene following EPL, La Liga or anything, but going to Argentina and experiencing their football culture really reset our mindsets and sort of sparked our interest again. The football fans in Argentina are religious. The most notable thing you'll see in Argentina for a souvenir gift is literally a Messi jersey or any Messi merchandise. On almost any TV screen, like just say in an electronic store or in a coffee shop, it'd be playing Messi highlights.
Messi que se va de todos, se va de Yarosik, encara sobre Contini, puede jugar hacia el otro lado, recorta, sigue Messi, ¡madre mía Messi, qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo! Acaba de...
Or Maradona highlights.
Sigue Maradona, busca el área, está el segundo, va a tirar, tiró, ¡gol!
Within the Buenos Aires area, there are actually 6 football teams competing. We went to visit 3 of them. Each of them had museums. The first one we visited was called Argentino Juniors. It was a very modest stadium with a modest museum, and it was actually where Maradona began his career. It was definitely our favorite club because it was very genuine, and the people running the place were genuinely compassionate about their club and about football. You can definitely tell that this club is a community club, and it's not funded to the extent that La Boca and River Plate are funded. The next stadium we visited was the Boca Juniors Stadium, situated in La Boca. This is where Maradona moved after playing in Argentino Juniors and actually made a name for himself. This stadium is super commercial with its museum it's like a legitimate museum, pristine condition, security guards, security cameras, merchandise, cases, everything, and they spared no expense because this is one of the top teams in Argentina. We got to explore the stadium a little bit. We didn't get to go on the pitch, but we got to explore the lockers, the seats, and a lot of cool stuff. How was your performance today?
I was quite happy with the way the team played. A little frustrated with the referee's incompetence and inability to call the game. But yeah, it was pretty good.
So you got sent off. Why'd you get sent off?
Because I'm mad.
The next club we visited was River Plate, and they spared no expense on their museum. Their museum was definitely top-notch, with a different room for every year basically, outlining its history and playing videos. The River Plate Stadium is where Argentina plays their national games. And I guess that's why they've put so much funding into this museum to make it look really, really nice and impressive. Outside the stadium, it looks really grand and beautiful. But as soon as we went in, you could see it was a bit run down. And we were told that this is because last time River Plate got relegated, the fans actually started ripping up the chairs in the interior of the stadium. And they didn't want to redo the stadium and have it ripped up again. So they just replaced it with sort of cheaper materials. Another interesting fact about Argentina football is that the fans are so die-hard that away fans are not allowed to attend games. This is because there are many cases of violence and hostility towards away fans. The fans are so religious about their sport, this is potentially dangerous and can lead to serious repercussions. Oh, and did I mention they're obsessed with Maradona and Messi? Messi. The main areas in Buenos Aires to visit. We went to visit a lot of places in Buenos Aires, but one of the more impressive districts was the La Recoleta district. This is definitely one of the more richer areas of the city, and you can tell by the architecture and the cleanliness of the streets. There's also a very famous cemetery called the La Recoleta Cemetery. It's an extravagant cemetery housing the wealthy and elite, including Eva Perón. The graves are so grand and large that it really creates an eerie maze-like feeling that when you're walking through, you're actually surrounded by these large tombs. It was definitely strange seeing so many people with cameras in a cemetery, and I myself felt a bit strange filming and taking photos in there. Another interesting area of Buenos Aires is the La Boca area. And this area is the more blue-collar area of town. La Boca was an area where a lot of migrants stayed when they immigrated to Argentina from places like Italy. There are a lot of colorful houses, shops and restaurants, and you definitely can't forget to bring your camera. There are a lot of people on the streets trying to sell you things, trying to take photos with you, trying to dress you up as tango dancers to take photos, and of course there are a lot of souvenir stores here as well. Another great place to visit is the San Telmo market. It's a really great flea market with lots and lots of people, and it's really bustling. They've got buskers, performers, tango dancers. It's very interesting and it's a very cultural experience.
Y activo, mi vida entera te la di.
There's also a really interesting antique market which is indoors nearby as well. If you want to look for any old cameras or sort of used pins and stuff. Just old stuff. What did we notice that was unique about Argentina? Cars. I noticed a lot of the cars were parked really close together and very tightly. Literally this much space in between them. I do not know how they parallel park in that position, but it's very impressive. They don't waste any space, they just, if the car can fit in there, it just goes in. The tango also originated from Argentina, and we got the opportunity to see a street performance. As well as a professional performance. Not to take anything away from the street performance, but the professional performance was definitely a must-see. Another interesting thing about Argentina was that it was the first country in South America to pass on marriage equality laws. And the LGBT community here is really prevalent. You can see it and there's no homophobia at all, and they just integrated it as part of the community, and I think that's really great. Some quick tips for Argentina. Tipping in Argentina is about 10% at restaurants, give or take. We didn't have any negative experiences where they demanded more from us. 10% is generally the consensus. We also took a taxi a couple of times, and it wasn't uncommon for the taxi driver to take the scenic route. We noticed this because we actually took 2 cars and the taxi driver would just hit his horn really slightly to tell the taxi driver of the other car to follow him, just so that they'd take the same route, so we couldn't at the end say, oh, we split up, so then one of them must have taken a longer route. And I guess this is smart, but it's also sneaky, so you should be aware and should not be afraid to speak up about it. When we were there and we tried to catch a subway, the subway actually closed, and this was well before the advertised closing time, so it's important that you have a plan B in case this does happen to you. A lot of Argentinians also warned us about pickpockets as well, especially in San Telmo markets when there's a lot of people around. It's very easy for you to get distracted by a lot of the things going on and then not paying attention to your belongings, and they can get pinched. So I recommend that you keep your bag in the front. You keep all your belongings in your pockets at the front, nothing in the back pockets, and just stay aware. Pickpockets only want to pickpocket people that look like easy targets, so if you look prepared, then they're not going to bother with you. Also, another interesting thing that we found was that there was actually a black market for money exchange, where they would change money in the back of a shop. This is actually pretty helpful because they actually give you a better exchange rate than the banks or the standard money exchange places. You also do have to be careful with where you go, and you should go with an Argentinian friend if it's possible, so that they can maybe translate and make sure that the transaction goes smoothly and there's no confusion. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative and interesting. I'm sorry I didn't post any videos for a very long time. I was busy with uni and just being lazy basically. But I'm gonna get back into it. I've got a lot of footage from our travels, so I'm gonna be making videos as frequently as I can. Make sure you comment down below your own experiences in Buenos Aires and tell me what you think of the video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click that big like button and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
A veces tengo miedo de no encontrarlo de nuevo, de que se haya perdido mi sueño y hasta
Argentina.